Well, good evening, everyone. Happy Saturday. That's right. Happy Saturday. This is Miss B, positively Miss B. I'm coming to you on a Saturday evening, and I'm so excited about my guest. But if this is your first time joining me, I am Miss B, positively Miss B, the CEO of Storm Talk 365 Radio, faith-based podcast network, along with Storm Radio 24/7, where we deal with the arts, entertainment, poetry, business, finance, just about everything. But tonight we're going to do the Music Lounge. If you've never heard of the Music Lounge, it's because basically we just interview people, whether indie artists or like Miss Martha High. She's been around for a long time, some of the older but goldies. We do highlight their profession. So tonight we're going to highlight the profession of Miss Martha High. She will be joining me later, prayerfully. But in the meantime, I am Ms. B, and I am going to tell you a little bit about the Music Lounge. Well, I'm not a radio station. Let me just get that clear. I'm a podcast network, and what we do is provide the artists, recording artists, musicians, the writers, an opportunity to showcase their talent. I am a faith based podcast network, which means I do not do anything with profanity, vulgarity, sex, violence, anything that I consider not wholesome. So please, if you do decide that you would like to have the exposure on Storm Talk 365 or Storm Radio 24/7, keep in mind that I do like all genres, but they have to be within a certain limit. I don't do profanity. I really don't. I don't like a lot of, sex and violence and negativity. So please don't send me anything like that if you expect to be interviewed on Storm Radio 24/7. So that being said, you can find us at www.stormradio247.com, where we have Carrie Hines, who is our featured artist, our featured business on Business Spotlight. He's the hair radio show. He's been around for years. He comes on at 12 noon East Coast time on Storm Radio 24/7. We have Financial Focus with Serrata Blackfoot, where she comes on Saturdays and gives her recommendations. Today she did it on taxes. We have real estate roundup. We have quite a few things going on over there. So look forward for more content coming from Storm Radio 24/7. So again, Miss Martha High is my featured guest for tonight, where we'll be talking about music. She's listed as the hardest working lady in show business. She sung background vocals for some notable performances, such as the godfather himself of soul, James Brown. That's where she really took off. Actually, she's from Virginia, so that puts a smile on my face, because a lot of people, they come from all over, but she was born in Victoria, Virginia, so she is a Virginia native. I don't know if you know anything about old school music, but Bo Diddley 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 Diddley. I mean, I was born in 1955, so a lot of these artists, especially James Brown, boy, when he came to Petersburg to perform at Virginia State, and my mama wouldn't let me go, I was so upset. I think I was like 14 or 15. I was so upset. I saw all the buses going down the highway, and it's just like so sad. But her relationship with James Brown and Bo Diddley got her off to a really good start. He considered her to be a lady that doesn't fool around, and she didn't. She joined the group The Jewels in 1967, and she performed a lot with James Brown. I mean, I could tell you a lot. When she comes on, she could tell you more. But over the years, she's done a lot with other people, such as Little Richard, Jerry Lee Lewis, The Temptations, Aretha Franklin, Patti LaBelle, B.B. King. Mary J. Blige isn't that old, but she was out there with her. Stevie Wonder, Prince, Michael Jackson, and more. She is coming back. She's been out of the country for a while, but she wants to come back and let people know she still, has a little something going on, and she wants to let people become reacquainted with her talent, her gifts. She has been in Europe, Japan, South America, and she has sellout crowds. They said that In 2000, she appeared with the legendary Maceo Parker. Like I said, a lot of these people are people from my generation. Sly and the Family Stone, Lionel Hampton, just a lot of people from the old school. When she's off the road, she likes to do workshops and master classes. She's been in Paris. My goodness, there's not too many places she hasn't been. She provides her expertise and has been commissioned to participate in development of rising singers. She's gifted with a sound spanning the musical spectrum from soul and rhythm, blues to rock and roll, to gospel, and her soulful style appeals to a wide audience from the young to the still jamming seniors like me. Yes, I'm reading it. This is on her special fan page, which is available to you to join or follow. Martha Hyde, the goddess of soul. Again, she has promised me that she will be joining me. We had some technical difficulties, but she is ready to join us. So while I'm waiting for my guest, I'll give her a few minutes. I don't want to keep you long if she's not going to join us. But um, one of the things that I would like to talk about while I have the opportunity is where is your faith? I have to say that. Where is your faith? Since we're talking about music, a lot of times music has been able to heal us, to redirect us, to give us the opportunity to sit down and think and redirect. Um, oh, Wendy, hey, Victoria, near your hometown. That's good. I want to talk about where's your faith? How is music impacting your life? Are you able to sit down and find a quiet spot and find whatever genre you listen to? Again, I don't play all genres, but whatever genre brings you comfort. Music has a tendency to redirect us, to calm us, to help us to get focused or refocused. What type of music do you like to listen to? Whether it's jazz or concert pianist or anything. We have a lot going on, not just COVID, but we have a lot going on. And I'm not here to preach, teach, or even try to inspire you. What I want you to do is to think about music. We're on the music lounge tonight. Think about the music that you're listening to. It feeds your spirit. It also impacts your emotions, and your emotions impact your thoughts. Are you allowing negative music to come into your life? And you're already sad with a breakup. Then you want to do all these breakup songs, and then you just can't get out of that funk. Maybe it's the music that you're listening to. Are you trying to um, confront and conquer? Are you trying to just to be comfort and be conquered? In other words, what is your music doing to inspire you, to encourage you, to move forward in a positive flow? If you're already having relationship problems or other issues, why would you listen to music to keep you there? Let music uplift you, encourage you. Let music be a tool um, to make you become a better person and to move forward out of that situation. It's considered medicine. Happiness, joy, peace, love, long suffering. A lot of that has to do with what you allow yourself to be exposed to, and that includes music. Some of you have some talent. Let's talk about that while I wait for Martha. Some of you have some talent and you keep saying, well, nobody's going to like my songs and nobody's going to publish my songs, or that sounds stupid. And you have books and books and pieces of paper stuffed in Walmart bags saying one day somebody will listen. No, nobody's going to do anything with your talent until you do. Don't let your thoughts tell you that you don't have a talent, that you don't have something to contribute. You just never know who's waiting to put your music, your words to music. And on the same note, you have people out there that's written all kinds of lyrics, all kinds of music, beats, and they're waiting for someone to add words to them. So, the internet is out there for you to use. Go out there and just search who's looking for lyrics to go to their music, who's looking for music to go to their lyrics. You can go to Fiverr, and Fiverr has a lot of things going on where they can tell you, man, I can put your music out here and sell it as an intro to a podcast such as mine. So what I'm trying to say here on the Music Lounge, not only do we interview you, we want to encourage you to use your musical talents, whether it is writing the lyrics or coming up with beats or even long orchestrated songs. Don't shortchange yourself because your mind or other people are telling you, I can't do it. I don't have the talent. Nobody's going to finance me. This sounds stupid. Here on Storm Talk 365 and Storm Radio 24/7, we pride ourselves in encouraging you to become the best person you can be for you. Don't let other people dictate who you are. Don't let your situations and circumstances take away from the talent that you may or may not have. But remember, what are you allowing yourself to listen to? It could be your worst enemy, or it could be the best thing that ever happened to you. And I suggest to listen to other genres. You never know what you may like. If you just listen to one thing, then you just don't know what else is out there. Jazz, classical music, and believe it or not, country western music has some really pretty good lyrics. So don't limit yourself to one particular genre, thinking, oh well, I don't listen to anything but. As a choice, but you never know what else you're missing. On Storm Radio 24/7 in the Music Lounge, again, we're going to be interviewing people with all types of um, backgrounds, all types of backgrounds. And when you do submit for interview, please be aware that, again, we are a faith-based podcast network, and we're not going to make any allowances for anything that encourages, you know, I'm going to say, I'm not going to say unclean, but unprofessional behavior. How about that? Because we have like 3,000 people in this group, and most of them are professionals, and they're in their 20s and 30s, and we just want to have a well-rounded listening audience. But I don't want to expose them to things that I don't like. So this is not the place for you if you have lyrics that include violence and profanity and sexual explicit types of things. That's not what we want to do. But I encourage you, it's not just about gospel and just, spiritual stuff. No, there are so many people out there with different talents, especially if you already have something out there in the indie artist industry and you want to be heard. Please, inbox me. I really don't like Messenger. How about stormradio247 at gmail.com? Let me just regroup that. I just don't like Messenger. It's just too cluttered, impersonal. But if you have a question or you have something you think I may be interested in, regardless of the genre, as long as it's clean, email us at stormradio247 at gmail.com. Yes, Yamaja, thank you so much. You are so versatile and well-versed in so many ways with wisdom from your soul, Miss B. Thank you so much. Speaking of Yamaja Jubilee, please look her up. There's not anything I can't say about her that's not good. She has so much going on. She has her own radio show. She's a host of other different radio shows. She has so much going on. But I'm going to say thank you, Yamaja, for being a part of At the Table with Miss B. That's right. She comes on At the Table with Miss B every other week on Thursdays at 7 p.m. with 4 or 5 of us. And we talk about different topics that encourage you, again, to grow spiritually and to look at your overall human development. We promote positivity, light, love, and she is just an absolutely amazing person to follow. She's got a modeling career coming up. She's a poet. She's an author. And most importantly, she's my friend, my sassy gal, my sister. Sister Brenda Coles is coming on tomorrow at 1 p.m. on A Leader's Voice. She just sent me what she's going to talk about. I'm doing a shameless plug. She's going to be talking about guardianship of adult loved ones. And she's going to have a guest with her, Bernadette Brown of Roanoke, Virginia. We're going to be on at 1 p.m. East Coast time on A Leader's Voice on Storm Talk 365 Radio. That's right. Every Sunday at 1 p.m. I have a different episode. I'm building up my contact, but you can definitely look for Sister Brenda Coles, who's the president of, that's right, the president of the chapter enrichment of NAN, National Action Network, founded by Al Sharpton, where they focus on different, not just political things, but different injustices happening in the legal / correctional institutions, male and female, mostly Black, but they are not specific to only the Blacks. But if there's anything that you think that the National Action Network should be aware of, especially as far as police brutality or being unfairly incarcerated, please look up the NAN, National Action Network, where we have Sister Brenda Coles, who is right there in Richmond, Virginia. She's the president of that chapter. And she's also covering West Virginia while I'm thinking about it. Wendy Lee, daughter from another mother. I've been knowing her for such a long time, and I've seen her blossom. Wendy Lee, oh my goodness. Please look her up. Quiet Storm, Wendy Lee. She is a clean comedian. She has a lot going on. She just did an actual debut on TV where they did a fundraiser, and she was a part of the virtual show where she did quite a bit. I'm just excited. So she's been on local TV, and it's time for her own TV show. But Wendy Lee Quiet Storm also comes on a radio show on Fridays at 3 p.m. Eastern time, I think it is. But she's all over the place. She's in California, coast to coast. But if you would like a virtual comedy show, please look up Wendy Lee Quiet Storm. And now that the COVIDs are lifting their requirements, she may be able to come with you. But again, thank all of you for being so patient. We do have my guest on, and I'm bringing her on. Thank you so much, all of you, for waiting. She is here with us. So, Miss Martha, just say hello to everybody.
Hello, and please forgive me. I'm not I'm not suave when it comes to this connecting with the different with the different places. I thought it was on Messenger, and then I thought it was Zoom. I was so confused. So please forgive me.
No. Let me tell you, one of our shows was 15 minutes late, so you're doing good. Thank you so much for joining us.
You're quite welcome. It's my pleasure.
I tried to tell them a little bit about you. I tried to tell them just a little bit. I let them know that you're back in the States and you wanted the people to catch up with you. I told them all about you being a part of James Brown. So let's just begin with that. How did you get started with your musical career?
Well, I started with a group called the Jewels, the Four Jewels, as a matter of fact, and which was in Washington D.C. I was born in Victoria, Virginia, and I was raised in Washington D.C. So during my senior years in high school, I met the young ladies that sang with the Four Jewels, which was Sandra Beers, Grace Ruffin, and Marjorie Clark. And I met them at Bo Diddley's house. He had a studio there. So I was in a small group called the Boettes. And I'll tell you how I got that name. But anyway, I was in a group called the Boettes, and I met the Jewels at at Bo Diddley's house, and started with them. And it was because of Bo Diddley that I joined the group, because they were auditioning a young lady, because one of the ladies were leaving. So Bo Diddley told me, he said, Martha, I think that you should audition for the group. And I said, you really think so? I don't think I'm that good of a singer, because the ladies already had a few songs out nationally, and I was like, oh my God, I don't think I can do this. I said, they sing so well. But anyway, I did end up auditioning with them, and became one of the Four Jewels. And I think about a few years later, we end up meeting a gentleman by the name of Smokey McAllister, which became our manager. And went on the road with him. He took us out on the road, and then we ended up going to New York City recording. And once we recorded, one of the ladies, Margie, decided to leave, and then we became the Jewels. While we were the Jewels, we met Mr. Brown at the Howard Theater first in Washington D.C. We met him first, and then he came to our dressing room and sat down and talked with us. We were so shocked that he came to the dressing room because someone knocked on our door, and we said, who is it? He said, it's me, James Brown. We said, who? It's James Brown. Open the door. So we answered the door, and to our surprise, he came in the dressing room and told us how much he enjoyed the show, and we were just ecstatic. We had a fit, and we couldn't believe that he was in our dressing room. And then from there, he told us how much he liked us and everything, and hoped to see us again. And sure enough, maybe about 6 months later, maybe a little maybe about 4 months later, we were at the Apollo Theater in New York City, and we were on stage, and we heard the crowd. The crowd was just going crazy, and we was like, oh my gosh, they're really enjoying us. We're really getting down. We're doing good. And then after the show, sitting in the dressing room, somebody knocked on the door. We said, who is it? It's James Brown. Again, was like, what?
Wait a minute, hold up. What's going on?
Yeah, so he came into the dressing room, and again told us how much he liked us. But this time he told us he wanted us to join his show, his review. Yeah, and which was like, what? You mean the James Brown review? He's yeah,
You
my show,
review.
my review. And we he told us to meet him at Cars Beach, which was in a part of Maryland. And he was coming there. I think maybe about 2 months later, he was at the Cars Beach, and we did go there to meet him. We talked with him and everything. That's when he invited us to join the show. He had the contract and everything for us. So here we are, young ladies around. I think we were like 18, 19 years old, and he presented the contract with us. We took it home to our parents, and we talked about it. We looked it over and ended up going on the road with him.
You
It was
know, I'm grinning because I missed my opportunity when he came to Virginia State when I was a teenager. And just knowing that he knocked on your dressing room twice. I don't want to date you, but I know I was 15, 13, 15. And so you've been in the business for a while. Is that correct?
yes, for quite a while.
But you have also in your bio listed a lot of other people that you've been, um, I'm going to say, entertaining with, performed with. Um, Other than James Brown, if you could pick one female, who would be the most notable person that you felt inspired you?
Aretha Franklin. Aretha Franklin, I adored her. She was just everything to me, and also Patti LaBelle. But Aretha Franklin, I was able to meet both of them, working with Mr. Brown through the years and everything. I was able to meet both of them. But I actually was on the stage with Miss Aretha Franklin. We did, when I say we, I'm speaking of Mr. Brown. We performed in Detroit, Michigan. We did the CD and the album, the CD and the video called James Brown and Friends. So Miss Aretha Franklin was a guest of his, and she sang. And when she sang with him, I was able to do background with her background singers. I sang behind her, and I was like, oh my God, here I am singing behind Aretha Franklin. That was just amazing to me. It was just one of the highlights of my career. It was great.
Well, since we're talking about the highlights of your career, bring us up to date. Give us something more recent that you've done, and what do you hope to accomplish in your future?
Okay. Well, I have to say that after I left Mr. Brown, which I left him in the year of 2000, I joined Maceo Parker. Maceo Parker was a protege of Mr. Brown. He's a saxophone player. And I'm quite sure a lot of people remember Maceo Parker because Mr. Brown in his songs used to say, Maceo, won't you blow?
I know, right? Oh,
Yes, I joined him for 16 years, and that was a blessing because being with Mr. Brown, now I was kind of really closed up. I wasn't really able to do anything on my own, because I was always with him. I always worked with him, and I was his hairstylist as well. So I traveled with him extensively. When I was on the road, I would travel with him because I had to do his hair when he woke up in the mornings and just before we went to work and after the show. So I was with him all the time. But when I left him in 2000, I joined Maceo Park, and that gave me a window to start doing things for myself. When I say start doing things for myself, like writing, I started creating and writing songs, and really got interested in finding out what I could do. And it was really open for me because Maceo was the type of person. He said, Martha, if you have something to do on your own, or if you have some gigs on your own, you can go on and just come on back when you finish and everything. And so I did. I started opening up and started working with other bands and traveling in Europe as a solo artist. I wrote my own songs. My very first album, solo album that I recorded was "It's High Time," and I wrote all of the songs on there. I wrote and it was quite an experience, because it was, like I said, it was something that opened up for me when I started working with Maceo, because I wouldn't dare think about trying to do some things on my own when I was with Mr. Brown, because he was just a little strict. So it was always James Brown's music. But anyway, I stayed with Maceo for 16 years. I was with Mr. Brown for 32 years, and then with Maceo Parker for 16 years. And after that, in 2016, I said, okay, it's my time now. It's
Hot.
really high time. It's really high time. So I moved to Europe. I stayed in Europe for 6 years. Lived in France, and from there I recorded. I got with other bands. I started working with different bands. And my first band was the Shaolin Temple Defenders. That they were out of Bordeaux, France, and that was really, really a great experience for me, because I never had a band to come to me and say, Miss Hyde, we want to work with you. We want to be your band. And I was like, really? Okay, that's great. So I was with them for 6 years and recorded an album with them called Woman. And from there, I worked with a group called Speedometers from England, from the UK. I was with them. I traveled with them for 3 years and recorded an album with them as well. Um, I think let me think of the name. As so many. Soul Overdue. Yeah, Soul Overdue. I did an album called Soul Overdue with the Speedometers. And from there, I decided okay, I've worked with all these guys and everything. Now I want a band of my own. And I've really handpicked a lot of musicians at that time, because I met a lot of musicians during the time of traveling. So I end up having a group called the Internationals. And I did a couple of songs with them, but we didn't record an album. And from there, then I met this gentleman called Tony Match, which is my manager at the moment now. He's my manager, yeah. And I have recorded an album with another group that I'm working with. I have two bands now that I'm working with.
What
One,
is
yeah. One of the group. Well, the first one is like a trio. It's just three musicians and myself, and we do quite a bit of different kinds of music, different genres. We do jazz. I do a little jazz, a little
I bet you
blues, and
can do that jazz.
so. Well, I enjoy it. I'm just really trying jazz for the last 3 or 4 years now, so it's quite new to me, but I'm enjoying it so very much. It's really a pleasure to just go into other genres of music. I love just the mixture, just not staying in one type. Now I'm also singing with a group called the Italian Royal Family, and they are from Italy. Yes, it's a big band, and I actually have two albums with them. My
Wow.
first album, yeah, my first album was Singing for the Good Times. And it was a wonderful, wonderful album because the producer, which is the band leader, it seems as if I knew him all my life, because the songs that we came up was just it was just like I wrote them, or he was just with me all the time and knew what type of music or what, what to sing about and everything. And we we talked to we went over the songs and everything, and I really liked the songs. I really loved the messages that the songs had. So it was very fitting for me. So it was about, we called the album "Singing for the Good Times."
Good.
My most,
Look at
yeah,
you.
my most recent album, which was a really sad to say that it was released 2 weeks before the pandemic. 2 weeks before lockdown, before everything just went into a lockdown, my album was released, and it's called Nothing's Going Wrong. So here's a new album that I have out, that really didn't really get a chance to circulate, for the world to hear and everything. But we're going to release it again, and hopefully that it makes some noise, but I'm sure it will, because the songs again are great, really, really wonderful. I'm very proud of it.
Well, before I ask you any more questions, let's stay right there in that vein. How can they listen to your music? Are you online? Where are you? Tell them all
Yes,
the places, CD,
absolutely,
SoundCloud. Where are you?
absolutely. You can find me on Spotify, Amazon, iTunes, even you can go to my albums, my record company, which is Blind Faith Records. You can find them online. There's a link online, Blind Faith Records, and I'm just I'm all out there, on all of the all of the links you can find me. But yeah.
If you had to, I know you say you're going into jazz now, but if you had to describe your music yourself, how would you describe it? Soulful?
Yes, absolutely. I will say that because when like I said, I was with Mr. Brown for 32 years. So I don't think I could lose the funk, but yeah, I think that the songs are soulful. And some songs are blue, very blues, like blues, have a feeling of blues. And I think that the album that I have out now, Nothing's Going Wrong, it has like a worldly feeling. It's about what's happening in the world today. It's messages about global warming, and caring about our world, caring about the country, and loving people. Loving one another, and being conscious of how you treat people and everything. So it has a lot of love and a lot of feeling of uh, treating each other, you know, uh, with love and caring and everything.
I'm not
So
going to ask you to do a cappella, but just give us a few words, a few
well,
bars.
I even told, like I said, I told you that I like all genre of music, and I remember that I was having, when Mr. Brown was in incarceration. I was having kind of a hard time dealing with it and everything, and then I got to the point that I was kind of selfish at that time, because by him being in jail, and I wasn't doing anything. I was spending all my money and not paying attention to what was really going on, and I got to the point where I was like, okay, I don't have much money. What am I going to do? I need to do something. So I was depending on my family and my friends to help me find work, and they wouldn't. And I was like, okay, all right, fine. Okay, I don't have to find them. You don't want to take me look for a job. I guess I won't be working. But then I don't know, something hit me one day and said, like, you need to wake up and realize that no one has to do anything for you. You have to do this yourself. If you want to work, if you want some more money or something, get out there and find a job. And I was like, oh my God, this, that's right. I can't depend on people taking me different places looking for a job. I have to do this on my own. And so, uh, that I think it was that next morning I got up and I went out and started looking for a job, looking for something to do. And soon after that, my brother gave me a car, to get around because I had to catch a bus, and I had said I'm not catching no bus to look for nothing. If no, if no one picks me up, I'm not going nowhere. But anyway, he gave me a car, and then the gentleman I was dating took me over to an office and let me speak to the manager there. And the manager said, so do you know anything about working in the office? I said, not really, but I will. I'll try. I'll do everything I can to get a job, So he said, do you know how to type? No, but I can learn. I can just a little bit. I can type a little bit, but I can learn. I can do better. Well, what about, do you know anything about Fallon? No, but I just a little bit. I can do this. I know. Just give me a chance. Just give me a chance to do this. And he told me, he says, well, okay, I have to talk with two other young ladies, and we'll see, we'll see who comes out the best, and I'll call you. I said, okay, but please understand, I will work and I will do this. I know I can do this. Well, about 3 days later, he called me back and he said, now my surname is Harvin. And and I'll tell you about that too. He said, Miss Harvin. I said, yes. He said, well, I'm calling you to let you know you got the job. And I said, really? Oh, that's wonderful. I said, oh, thank you so much. And he said, but let me tell you this. He said, now, when I gave you the test, he said, you only could type 35 words per minute. He said, and that's not good. He said, but when I tested the other two girls, they couldn't even type 35 words a minute. So you got the job.
What? It was just meant for you.
Yeah. And I was like, oh my God, are you serious? And he said, yeah. He said, so you got the job. And I said, oh, thank you, Jesus. Thank you so much. But from that experience, I was so happy. And I would get up every morning to go to work because I'd never done that before. I got up to go to work and I started thinking, I said, oh Lord, I got something to shout about. I got this job. And from that point, I started writing. I put that little phrase down, I got something to shout about. And I came up with this song. I ended up writing a song, and the song goes, I've got something to shout about, talking about praising the Lord. I've got something to shout about, talking about praising the Lord. I've got something to shout about, talking about praising the Lord. Hallelujah, hallelujah, talking about praising the Lord. I woke up early one morning, feeling mighty down. I got down on my knees and said, Lord, help me, please. He said, you'll always be there in the time of need. And I know prayer changes things. Just take a look at me. That's why I've got something to shout about.
Well, there goes the acapella that I was asking for. Let me tell you, I got goosebumps, and it's not from the air conditioner. Praise the Lord. So that being said, you have a gospel background, and people don't know that, but James Brown could sing us some gospel songs.
Oh, yes, he could. Yes, he could. I knew this guy in Augusta, Georgia, and of course, Mr. Brown was living in Augusta, Georgia, and Mr. Brown knew this guy's mother, and so every once in a while, he would call me and he'd pick me up. When I was living in Augusta, he would pick me up, and we would go to this lady's house, and her name was Mrs. Collier. He would go to her house. She had a piano there. And boy, the first thing, he'd go in there and he'd talk for a little while, and then he was on that piano. And she would sing, him and her would sing gospel, boy, and I'm telling you, it was just amazing. But he loved gospel very, very much. Yeah. And he kind of embarrassed me one time when I went to church with him. He
sung better than you. What did he?
No, what he did is we're sitting there, we got there a little late. And they escorted us in the church and set us down as sort of like middle ways in the church, and the choir was singing and everything, and the pastor nodded to Mr. Brown and everything. So we're sitting there. Mr. Brown turns around, look at me. He said, "This is how I get up and sing." And I said, excuse me? He said, get up there and go on up there and sing with the choir. I said, no, 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 Mr. Brown. I said, no, I can't do. No, I mean, we just come in the middle of everything. No, I don't even know what they're singing. Oh, you can sing. Just get up there and sing, Miss I go, please, Mr. Brown,
Don't do this to me.
don't do that.
He wasn't whispering, was he?
No. And Miss I just nod me. Miss I get up and sing. And he got out of his seat. We were sitting on the corner. He got out of his seat and had me to, I had to get up then because he's standing there telling me, come on, Miss I get up, going up there. I was so embarrassed. I didn't know what to do. I had to walk up to the front of the church, and they were singing, and thank God they were singing Hallelujah. I mean, just, Hallelujah, the song like that. And I listened for a while, and the pastor came over and whispered to me and said, ma'am, is everything okay? Are you all right? I said, yes, sir, I'm fine. I'm fine. But Mr. Brown wants me to join the choir. He's, oh, sure. Okay, come on. And I was like, oh my God. And so I kind of like improvised, improvised as much as I could because I really didn't know the song. I didn't know the song. And I said, oh, wow, but I got through. And everyone clapped. And I said, well, okay. At least they're being kind. I don't know if they were satisfied with what I was singing with, huh?
What a church debut, let me tell you.
Oh my God, that was terrible. That was terrible for me. But I said to myself, okay, this will not happen again because I'm not going to church with him anymore.
Speaking of going to church, when you think about going to church, you be trying to encourage people to be the best they can be.
Yeah.
Music has changed a lot, but
Yes,
the old music is still the same. What type
exactly.
of advice would you give anyone who's trying to find their way and feel that they have to fit in instead of finding their own way? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think that uh, anyone and everyone should be themselves. If you have a dream, if you interested in music or whatever you'd like to do, be yourself and be strong enough to stand up and say, okay, this is what I want to do, and you stick to it. If you have a dream of becoming a singer or a musician or something, I mean, stick to your dreams and follow your heart, what you want to do, and be serious about it. And of course, you have to be careful about who you get involved with to lead the way, to help you get where you want to go. Just be careful, but people can become a singer nowadays. I'm not into the only thing that I'm not saying that I don't like the music, but I'm not really into the rapping and the, some of it is okay, but I have to say my favorite was Tupac.
He had a story. His language was a little lit, but his lyrics were pretty good.
Yeah, yeah, it was. After a while, he settled down and he became a heck of a
Writer, he did.
yes, writer. Yeah, he
A
was
lot of them do. And
amazing.
that was one of the things that I was talking about before you joined me is that, here in the music lounge, I want to give everybody an opportunity to not only let people know who they are, but know
Mhm.
about their skills and talents music wise. But I have to emphasize that although they are talented in their own right, I don't promote profanity, violence, that type of thing. So, I wish them well, but that is not the type of lyrics I want to promote on the music lounge. But that being said,
Absolutely.
we're right into 44 minutes into the interview. We
Uh-huh.
talked about how to encourage other people to just be themselves. There's a lot of controversy on whether you should sell your soul to the devil and sign a Sony label or strictly independent. I see your head shaking. So, what do you think about that?
I'm going back. I'm thinking about what Mr. Brown had said. When he used to say. Miss High, never sing something that you don't want your mother to hear you sing, you
Oh,
know. Yeah,
beautiful.
never. So he was very adamant about that. You know, he didn't use any curse words in his songs or anything like that, and he didn't. So he didn't promote that, and that's what I always thought about. You know, whenever I would write a song or someone would write a song for me, I had to know what that song was presenting to my audience. You know, if it didn't make any sense or have a message, I didn't want to be a part of it. I remember a young lady um, had wrote a song. She wrote a song and wanted me to sing it, and I said, okay, let me see it, let me hear it. You know, anyway, she gave me the lyrics and I read it, and it was, oh my God, it was so dark. It was just like depressing. And I said, no, I'm sorry, I can't do this song. I can't do it, you know, because I'm love, you know, God is in me, and I can't, no, I can't sing anything that's gonna, I
Yeah.
feel that's going to bring you down or something like that, you know. So I think it's very, very important. And these days, it can be done of putting your own songs out there. Now, if the big labels and everything like that, I mean, I'm sure they're still out there, but everyone now is doing their own thing, you know. And I really think that's a good way to do things nowadays, you know.
You are definitely doing your own thing.
Mhm.
Two
Yeah.
hands. Look at you.
And you know what? I didn't share something I didn't share with you. I have also written a book, and yes, and my book is called "He's a Funny Cat, Miss High," and it's about my 32 years with Mr. Brown.
Oh, well, I got to bring
And
you back and do another interview about your book.
yeah, and it's on Amazon. You can find it on Amazon and Kindle books.
Yeah, that's what it's
Kindle,
called.
yes,
Well,
uh-huh.
yes, ma'am. I'm putting you out there. I'm inviting you back to be on the author's corner so we can talk about that book.
I love that.
Congratulations.
Yes.
How long has it been out?
It's been out 2 years, three years now.
All right.
Three, well, maybe longer than that. It's been out, no, it's been out about 4 years, about 4 or 5 years.
Well, it's
But
time for
it's
it's
still
time,
kicking though. It's still,
it's time for you
yeah.
to get more I say visibility. So let me ask you before we move forward to the end of the show.
Hmm.
Told us about your music. You told us about the book. You told us about your two, three bands. You told us a lot. Um, what is it that you want to do coming back to the United States? Are you available now for bookings? What type of events are you willing to do, even though COVID still has some restrictions? Are you willing to do virtual shows for people? Tell us about what you're available for.
Yes, you know, since I've been back here, you know, I was living in Spain, and I just came back 2 months ago. Uh, and I'm open to do a lot of things because, you know, just kind of like sitting around home and then everything. I have been involved with a few videos, music videos, and it was really fun. I enjoyed being a part of that. So yes, if I get a chance to sing with others and everything, I'm very much open to do that. I'm also working on a project. I don't know if I should. I don't think I'm gonna say what it is right now. I'm just gonna I'm, so, I'm gonna keep that to myself for a while, and
I
and
can have
maybe
an exclusive.
maybe the next time that I'm on the show with you, then I'll be ready to talk about it then.
Okay, so
But
I'm gonna say I'm gonna have an exclusive. I can't tell you what it is, but she's gonna let me know. Then we'll let y'all know. How about that? You
and I'm due to go back to Europe. Supposedly the end of August, but you know the way that things are nowadays, nothing's for sure. You know, I'm supposed to go back to Europe to start working, but we'll see. And if not, and if something can happen here, I'm open to do something with others or to have a show of my own. You know, so
I'm liking that. I'm loving
yeah.
that. So, speaking of show of your own, do you have your own YouTube channel? Do you have Vimeo? Do you have
I
places?
have I have my own YouTube channel. It's Martha Hyde. the Goddess of Soul. And also I have an artist page on Facebook. That's also Martha High, the Goddess of Soul. And you can link up with me on Twitter. Yeah, Twitter and Facebook. And I feel, I'm there.
But I like that page. What's the name of your page? Martha High, the Goddess of Soul.
Yes,
I like that because that has more of your performances and different things like that. So
that's right. It has
made with you that they can go there and get the link.
Absolutely. It has all of my videos and photos and different people that I have performed with. My albums are there, and it's just it's a very, very wonderful page. The gentleman that takes care of my page, he's done a wonderful job, and I'm very, very proud of it.
All right, everybody.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm looking forward to you coming back to talk more about your music, but also the book. Is there anything else you would like the listeners or viewers to know before we go?
Well, again, I'm here, and I'm open for to do a virtual performance with anyone. I'd love to do that, and I wanted to say to everyone, please be safe. Be safe. Take care of yourself. This virus is not a joke. It's very serious. Wear your mask. Keep your distancing, and just be aware of what's really going on. It's not fake. It's for real. And again, Black lives matter.
Absolutely.
All lives matter. So let's just be aware and take care of yourselves, and know that I love everyone, and thank you for tuning in. And Benita, thank you for having me on your show. I appreciate it so very much.
I am excited that you worked me in because you're so popular. Every time I look, you on somebody's show. So just work me in. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Well, thank you for being patient because I was panicking. I was having a problem. I used the wrong phone and I couldn't get. I was like, oh my God, what am I doing? And I just had to realize. I said, okay, settle down, and read and follow directions. And I did, and I finally got on. Yeah.
Wow. See, Byron said he would give you a show, not just an interview. Byron Duryea,
Wow.
He's a personal friend of mine. He is all over the place. He has a radio network. He's not just, he has a radio station. I've been affiliated with him for a couple of years, and I suggest that you call him, message him, and he said a whole show. I don't know what.
Wow, I would love that. My goodness, God is good. God is really good.
And he supports all genres. So it's not just, he is a doctor of divinity, but he supports all genres. So you just never know what Dr. B got up for you. So thank you, Dr. B, for joining us. And Martha will definitely get in contact with you. And I'm just excited to see what the two of you are going to do.
I sure will. Thank you. Thank you so very much.
His wife was sweetheart. You're going to enjoy being with them. So that being said, everybody, please go to Martha High, Goddess of Soul. If you're not familiar with the oldest but goldest, and just know that James Brown groomed her, and we're waiting to see what the rest of her journey is going to offer. She is back home from being overseas, and whether the COVID-19 allows us to travel or not, we have Martha High back home in Virginia. All right, everybody, this is Ms. B, Positive Ms. B. I'm the CEO of Storm Talk 365 Radio, faith-based podcast network, where you can find us on iHeart, iTunes, Spotify, many more. We're also Storm Radio 424/7, where we talk about business, arts, entertainment, and we're going to have more from Ms. Martha High as I interview her about her book and more music from her. All right, everybody, have a blessed night. Thank you, Ms. Martha.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Benita. Have a great evening.
You too. Bye-bye.
Good weekend. Okay.
Thanks.